While power supply has returned in most parts of the country, affected by the Friday and Saturday massive power outage that plunged the country into unprecedented darkness, engineers from various agencies including KETRACO and Kenya Power are actively probing the matter. Earlier in the day, Energy Cabinet Secretary Davis Chirchir toured the Suswa Power Station to review progress into the probe.
We are having some engineers, about 50 of them, looking at the time logs for the blackout that occurred, and that lasted for over 15 hours.
With the Lake Turkana wind power farm having been singled out as the probable cause of the blackout after 270 megawatts of power was lost, tripping other units and stations, the CS revealed that the station has pulled off from the national grid and will remain closed.
Let's confirm what is afflicting, where the challenge came from, correct that challenge and bring them back to the network.
The Lake Turkana wind power farm had, through its social media handles, absolved itself from blame, questioning why their farm remained shut.
We know they are commercial interest. They are losing money. And even as we hold them back, we've invited them to come to Suswa to basically look at the audit log with us, and not for a blame game, but confirm where the challenge is coming from and correct that challenge and be able to secure our country together.
The CS, however, dispelling the notion that they were likely to introduce power rationing.
We don't see any challenge in terms of load shedding. It's not a problem which we want to correct it by end of today, tomorrow. As soon as, like I mentioned to you, when your house drips, you don't go and switch it back on. You can burn the house.
Earlier, the Energy Cabinet Secretary held a meeting with oil marketers to review the government-to-government deal entered with Gulf countries on importation of petroleum products after questions emerged over the overall impact of the deal and whether it was tailored to benefit specific marketers.
Kenyans must answer this question. Has G2G been useful? Is it time to go back to spot market? Is the dollar market, the macroeconomics are stable? Are the U.S. Fed rates, interest rates, gone back to where they ought to be? Or do we go back to a situation where we are scrambling for dollars in the market, the interbank could easily widen again?
Chirchir saying the arrangement to import fuel on credit had helped stabilize the Kenya shilling against the dollar, since initially all marketers would pay for the product in 5 days before it's delivered.
Today, those dollars are held in the country for at least 180 days. And that gives us a window to stabilize the market, because petroleum was being used to address the macro issues of dollar unavailability in the country, because it was sucking about, it sucks about $500 million every month. And therefore, by slowing down the exiting of the dollars, it helps us to address the rest of the economy.
It was, however, apparent that Kenyans will have to grapple with higher fuel prices in the next review.
Some of you will ask me the question, what will happen on the 14th? Based on the conversation we're having today, that August cargoes are more expensive than July cargoes, it gives you a clear indication of where we'll be going in the next pricing cycle.
If the debate is, do we price July or do we price August? August is going to be more significantly expensive. And so is October and November until we go through winter. And some of what's happening in the refurbishment and servicing of the oil refineries where the product comes from. So we need to answer that question together. And I can assure you,
EPRA says while the stabilization fund will be used to cushion Kenyans, this will depend on its availability. The fund is drawn from a deduction of 5 shillings and 40 cents from super and diesel and 40 cents from kerosene, and raises between 2.2 and 2.4 billion shillings monthly. Chemutai Goin, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Well, that was the Energy Cabinet